paying a premium to somebody else because they have the scale to create an agency like that where we don't. So what's big to us may not be as big to a different provider. And the example I gave is, again, if they had a home care agency, they're not paying premium dollars to their own people to cover when they're short. So it just depends. I think the biggest thing providers will look at for us is looking at, can they develop property on this campus for new independent living apartments? I mean, it's not different than what we came up with. I really don't think another provider is going to look at it and go, yeah, we don't need to do that. That's not necessary. I think they're going to look at it the same way our board did and the same way that David, myself, and our management team did. And that is the feedback that I'm hearing from other providers. So I think the positioning, certainly if we can turn things to the better, and it's good occupancies up in Port of McGrath, it's good occupancy's been good in AL, it's great what Cher's doing in the houses, and hopefully we can get traction in the apartments. All those things will help. I don't think it'll be simple black or white, that it's a yes or a no based on where our numbers are at. It would help, though, no doubt about it. Did that address your question? Okay. So that's where we're at. I had a gentleman come up to me in Four Bunker Lobby the other day. I need to know who it is. And I said to the gentleman, I can't tell you who it is because we're in a non-disclosure arrangement and we're in the middle of the due diligence process. And he called me the worst name I've ever been called in my life. And you know what that name was? Politician. That's what it, and Nelda was there. He said, politician. And I was like, holy cow, that's the worst thing anybody's ever called. Wow, that was really tough. So it was politician. So I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. That's where we're at right now. The worst thing we could do as an organization is risk the opportunity that we have. God has presented us with an opportunity. I really believe that. And it's a good opportunity. If we are trying to appease individuals who feel like they need to know something before everybody else, and we put that at risk, that's the worst thing we could do. And for everybody, that's the worst thing we can do. So I ask for patience. I ask for grace with our team and with each other. And our hope is that we'll be able to announce this within a few weeks. And not that it's done, but at least to let people know that we're far enough along that our board is comfortable with it and our potential partner's comfortable enough with it. And that's the conversation we're having right now with them, is at what point do we feel like we're far enough along in due diligence where everybody's comfortable to share who it is. They have to approve it, and we have to approve it. So that's kind of where things are. I wish I can provide more, because I know information helps people find comfort. I get it, but that's where we're at. Hurricane 2023, we're going to gear up again. And last year was, in the 4 years that I've been here, having two kind of back-to-back was very challenging. And I think our residents handled it well. I think staff handled it well. Hopefully, we won't have a similar circumstance. It won't be quite as bad, hopefully. But in the big picture, no one was injured, no one was hurt. The trees that came down didn't hurt anybody. We were able to fix the roofs and ceilings that had issues because of it. So hopefully we'll be in a similar or better place coming into this year. Any other topics, any other things or questions, comments? Please, Alan. Sure.
We still have up in the lobby the person of the quarter from last year.
Yes.
Get out forms that says
Yeah.
and nominate people, because there are other people who are very good employees.
He's been so good, though. I just think we should just.
He is so good, but
Yes, you're right. No, you're absolutely right.
who deserve it too.
You're absolutely right. And on the attaboy, attagirls, if at any time you want to provide somebody with that, let me know or let the supervisors know. I still get quite a few, primarily for environmental services and dining team members. So if you aren't getting access to that paper, let me know, and we'll get you that, the attaboy, attagirl. The quarterly thing, Tasha and I were just talking about that too. We're gonna get back on the beam with the quarterly, and I think we had a couple that were recommended for this quarter, that were recommended. So when our management team meets in 2 weeks, I think, in 2 weeks, we can review that with the management team and hopefully get that back in gear.
Email to you or to us?
No, just if you need the form for the attaboy, attagirl, we can get you the form. We'll get you the form, and we'll make it available at Ann's desk, at Carol's desk. In AL, we can make it available there. So we'll have the forms available if anybody says, I'd really like to do an attaboy or attagirl.
Nominate, and, it's just,
Yeah,
it's not the usual direction, but I think we need to recognize people for other services.
okay. Thank you, Ella. Thank you. You're spot on. Good, good. We'll get on that. Other comments, questions, thoughts? Ray? Good question. So the question is, does it always have to be on a form? No. You can email HR or myself. Please email us directly if you want. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And what I've been doing now when I get the attaboy, attagirl is I go out, I seek the individual out and thank them personally, and or I write a card and say, you know, I got a attaboy from so-and-so for the work you did here. Thank you so much for representing our mission so well. Buffy?
What is the situation with that elevator? I understand it went out again a little bit yesterday.
Oh, the chapel elevator? So Buffy's asking about the situation with the chapel elevator. Did it go out a little bit yesterday? I haven't heard that it went out. Okay. It was out. They replaced the motor. They had to get a whole new motor for that elevator, and it was replaced. It's running. It's running. Yeah, it's got a whole new motor. So yeah, it's running. Yeah.
Well, I guess another funny question is, with the money that Sheriff's making, could we have a new elevator?
So the motor is basically a new elevator, other than the paint and the look of it is the same, but the innards are basically new. Yeah. Yeah. It's not going to get bigger. It's not going to expand. I tried washing water and giving holy water over it to get it to expand, and it didn't expand. It's sad. It's a small elevator, but we'll keep it cleaned and we'll touch it up. If it needs touch up, we'll do that at this point. But our capital budget is tied to roofs right now, and we have elevator work that we have to do to meet the new code that the state has set up. That elevator work alone is going to be about $98,000, and so we've got a lot of money that we're spending in some areas that I don't think we can afford to replace that elevator right now. The looks of it, at least, but the motor's new. Okay. The phone's, John, is the phone working in it? Phone's working in it? Okay. Phones, call me. All right, let's test it out. Thank you, Buffy. Any other comments or questions? Sue?
There is a box right outside of the dining room that if you want to write a nice note, like an attaboy, attagirl,
Okay.
right outside, and you can write on that and put it right here.
Okay, Sue is saying there's an attaboy, attagirl box right outside the dining room. There's a box there, so you can write somebody up and put it in the box. Thank you. Thanks, Sue. Please. just what you think is good about, that's right, what's good about the employee. Trudy? Yeah.
And then the other comment on attaboy and girl, I was under the impression that people got points or something where they could go to the ball shop or Wood House or something with those attaboy, attagirl slips, which if that's not happening, I'd like to see it happening.
Okay. I don't think they're getting points anymore. I'll look into that. There was a sad thing, and it wasn't an employee, but there was an issue with the resident that was getting points on bingo and was making copies to buffer their point. And so we kind of at that point said we don't want any potential of staff or residents having that possibility. But Marcia's here, it's something we'll talk about and look at and see if the employees would appreciate that. That could be something we look at. I know right now, all they're receiving is thank yous. It isn't monetary. On the quarterly, there is monetary. On the employee of the quarter, and I think the names that go into the attaboy, attagirl, I think a lot of times they match up to people who are nominated for quarterly, because it's like, well, so-and-so got 5 attaboys, we should, continue promoting them for the quarterly. But I think that's the only monetary is the quarterly. So thank you, we'll look into that. Other thoughts, comments, questions, ideas? Okay, all right. Thank you all, appreciate you being here. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Be well. Take care, Les. Hey, Roger.